Hey Alex, I'm in the middle of working on this, and said you wanted a video of how to do this, so I'll try and put out, put in links to all the stuff that I bought, but and just give you a general description of what I did up to this point, because I can't show you behind the walls what it looks like. But so I have a central access point. It's called a patch panel, and it's just gonna, it's in my mechanical room here. So all of the connections are gonna come to here. I think we talked about this before. And then on this rack, I'm going to have a switch, and also the connections to the router will be here. I got different colors for different types of rooms. So the blue is for bedrooms, and the orange is for living rooms, and I've got some other colors. Red for my dangerous points, like my router. That's an important point. Yellow is for laundry, I think, and just got a couple of different ones. So what you want to do first is you want to plan out how you want all of your connections to go. Since you're just doing your basement, you're probably not going to have as many as I am. Then once you've planned it all out, you order all of the materials, and when you get the wire, you go ahead and you lay the wire. So what I did is, for every connection, for every wall plate, I have 2 wires going to it. And you don't have to do that. You can just do a single wire. And you can pick up whatever color you want: blue, white, red, orange, green. They have all different colors. But you're not going to see that. You're not going to see it except for these areas where it's coming out of the wall. So whatever you want. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter. I got Cat 6, which is plenty fine for me. They also have Cat 6E, that's more expensive, and you don't really get a lot out of it unless you have to go 100 feet or more, so I wouldn't worry about it. So what we're going to do here is actually clip one of the ends and terminate it like one of these. And then I'll show you the whole process. Let me tell you about this patch panel real quick. You can get one of these patch panels at Monoprice. I got all of this from Monoprice: the cables, the plugs, the terminators, everything. And then I even picked up, here are the terminators, and it's kind of nice. They sent me this free little patch panel. This puck, this Terminator puck that holds it in place for you, which is really nice. I'll show you why later. Anyway, let's get on to doing this. So the first tool you're going to need is one of these network cable snippers. They have holes for the terminators where you can actually terminate wires, which is useful to create your own wires, especially when you order lots of cable. You'll end up with some extra cable, and you can use that to make your own wires for really cheap. So you can make a 50-foot wire if you want. So you'll need this, and it also has these 2 razor blades right here, which are, when you close it up, help to strip the wire. On this side, you can cut through wire and strip just the wires in the middle, if that's a possibility for the particular wire. And then on this side, it's for stripping the outside, and I'll show you how that works. On the other side, this is the cutting portion, and it'll actually cut the wire clean through, which I use a lot. I forgot to mention, when you lay your wire, make sure that your wire is going is far away from electrical wire. So it has to be at least 1.5 to 2 inches away from electrical wires, and then don't let them run parallel to each other. They can run perpendicular to each other. but you don't want them to run parallel. But keep them an inch and a half away. So I also have a whole bag of these terminators. So when I got them from Monoprice, I got 96 of them, I think. And I think that because of that, they sent me this free palm puck. And I hope you get this, but if you don't, I would highly recommend getting one. In fact, I would say don't do anything unless you get one of these. The reason is because you're going to take a sharp object towards your hand, and having this puck here protects your hand. So, good to have. Get this. Now, when you get one of these little terminators, in a little bag like this, and you can get them in any color, just like the toys. And I'll open this up here. Sorry, doing this one-handed. They're kind of nice. They just open up on the side. If I were using two hands, this would be easier. So I'm just gonna show you how this side here. Kind of open on the side there, and when you get it out, you get 4 little pieces. One is the terminator itself, and then you have 2 terminator caps. These caps, once you've got the wires plugged in, will go on top here and here. And you also have a little zip tie to clip this, to clip the cable on to make it more secure. So we'll go ahead and take these 3 pieces and put them off to the side for now. And we'll come back to this. Now this plugs into the palm puck here, like so. There's a little knob right there that catches on it, and so it doesn't move. So now once you've got that loaded and ready, we'll go to the next step. The next step is to take these wires and actually strip them down. Now, if I were you, I would leave a lot of slack. On some of these connections, I didn't leave a lot of slack, and so I'm going to run into space issues. Getting too much wire is always cheaper than getting too little wire. I ran out of wire, a couple of weeks ago, and it cost me. And I'm running out of wire here too. Some of these cables I have to see if I can reroute because they won't reach up here, and that's worrying me. So always do too much. Do too much on both sides. If you give yourself 1.5 feet or more, you'll be golden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip this wire, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this to show you, but I'll just pretend to do it one-handed, and then I'll do it off video correctly. So you take this tool, right? I'm going to flip it around to use this sharp edge that's going to cut off, and I'm just going to make it straight at the edge here. Make it straight right there. Okay, so I made it straight, just to start. Then I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to use this bottom portion here to strip the wire. So we'll go in here, and I'm going to want to go up about 1.5 inches to give myself plenty of room. So I'll go up here, and then I'll squeeze down just enough to start stripping the wire, and then I'll keeping it pinched, I'll circle this around. So I'll do that, and then I'll show you how it looks afterwards. Okay, so I did it, and I don't think you can see here, but I did strip the cable. So now if I pull this off, that came off and it exposes the wires underneath. So these Cat 6 cables have 8 wires, 4 pairs of wires. So we can get that in focus. What you want to do is bend all of the pairs of wires back, and you'll see that they're curled around each other. Each pair is curled around each other. So you curl them out like that. You've got blue and blue white, orange and orange white, green and green white, brown and brown white. And they're twisted, and they're all twisted differently, and that's important. They're twisted in different frequencies because it helps them to not interfere with each other. And so when you open it up, you want to leave them as twisted as possible, except for where you need them to actually make contact with the terminator. Now there's another two pieces in here. There's a core and there's some like stringy material. Those you'll want to get rid of on the end. So I'm just going to take my network cable tool and I'm going to cut off, using that sharp blade, I'm going to cut off these up as close as I can here without nicking these. You want to make sure not to nick these, especially when you strip. Don't nick these wires. You want these to not be nicked. So I'll do that and I'll bring you back. So I cut that off and now I have my 4 wires exposed. And now we're going to connect these up. We're going to untwist them and we'll connect them up. Before we do that, I wanted to show you on the puck, the order does matter. And the terminator will actually tell you where things need to be terminated, but it'll show you 2 patterns. It'll show you an A pattern on the top and a B pattern on the bottom. And what you want to do is you want to line up each of the wires with that pattern. Now, you can use A, but B is kind of the more used, and so I use B. So that means that on this left side you'll have orange, the second spot you'll have orange white, the third spot you'll have green, and the fourth spot you'll have green white. And they're both the same on this side. And what this does is it actually kind of makes a pattern that you'll see when you try to splay out these wires. So I'm going to splay out these wires. I'm going to uncurl them, and then I'll splay them out in this pattern to show you how it looks. The first thing I like to do is put them in order. So it goes blue, brown, orange, green. And then I'll start splaying them out. So I've gone and I've splayed them out, and you'll notice that the green and the blue, which are on the side, I splayed out all the way to basically the shielding wire, or the blue wire on the side here. Splayed them all the way to their roots because I'm going to try and get them as close as I can to the terminator connections. The orange and brown, however, I have left a curl in and tried to terminate the curl as close as I can to the rest of the wire, but far enough up that they're kind of further up from the green and the blue. And you'll also notice that the color white ones usually always go to the outside. So it's, see, blue, white, and green, white first, then blue and green, then brown, white, and orange, white, and then brown and orange. So that's kind of the pattern you'll see. So now I'm going to take this palm puck and I will lay this wire right there, and I will start to push in each of these wires into their little terminators and just get them in there relatively loosely. I'm going to push on, I wish I could show you this with both hands, sorry, but I'll try and push on this side and this side to kind of pre-push them in before I take a different tool and actually snip them in. So I'll do that and then I'll show you what it looks like. Apparently YouTube doesn't like how long I took my video. I guess I was talking way too much. So I'll make a part 2. Sorry about that.